Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to the TheDomCast episode 14. And man, we just had a hell of a time getting the co-host on here. I mentioned this like 3 weeks ago. Then we recorded on Wednesday and we were trying to separate the tracks on the mixer because I haven't actually had a co-host before. So now I have him. He's here. Hopefully this is going to come out right because I'm looking at these waveforms right now and they look the same, but we just gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna introduce you guys to my co-host Eric. Eric is a Lakers fan. Say what's up. Introduce yourself and all that good stuff.
NBA World, YouTube World, Podcast World. It's your boy Eric Silencier. About to school your boy Dom. You know.
Yeah, you can find Eric on all the social media links are going to be on the screen, probably in the comment section and the description. So make sure to follow him too because he is going to be a weekly co-host. And I vouch for Eric because I'm not bringing any scrubs on the show. So I've been talking basketball with him and one other guy, like most of college, pretty much like the 4 or 5 years I was there. We'd always pass the time talking, and now we're here. Hopefully we can get the third guy sometime during the summer. But for right now it's gonna be us. So it's gonna pretty much work the same. You guys can still ask questions on Instagram. Please do definitely ask them on Instagram, and it's gonna do more of a thing where it's gonna steer our conversation. So it won't just be me going through linear questions and answering them per se, but you'll pretty much know if your question made it. Maybe I'll even start putting it on the screen just so you know. But it's gonna steer our conversation. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into it because when we did our practice run, it was like an hour.
And the wavelengths look crazy.
Yeah, no, they. Yeah, we're looking at the wavelengths on the audition right now, and I don't know, maybe when I get to editing, hopefully I can get this to be right because at this point I've done everything I can on the mixer. Yeah. All right. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get into this stuff. We are at the time of this recording. This is probably gonna come out tomorrow, so Saturday. Time of this recording, the Western Conference Finals are 2-0. Of course, the Warriors are winning. And then you have the Eastern Conference Finals, which will happen tonight, and the Bucks took a 1-0 lead. So I guess we can just go ahead and lead with the same thing we started with in the practice run because they didn't get to hear this part. What would you prefer to see as an NBA Finals this year out of what's left? Because once the Blazers made it, I just kind of made peace with the fact that the Warriors were going to be in the finals. So like, what's the best thing? What's the best case scenario we can find ourselves with in the NBA Finals, you think?
I'm still leaning towards Giannis and the Bucks. Even though Kyle Lowry had that one special game one, I have no faith in Kyle Lowry.
Right.
And and it seemed like Kawhi Leonard has more to do. He's carrying that team. And I think Bucks can match up well. They got shooters all around him. Giannis is hard to stop when he get momentum.
Right,
so I'm all Bucks.
Right.
And out of respect for Giannis, I see six
Warriors. Games. Yeah, so Warriors and six. No, that's interesting because this is something we didn't talk about on the last pod. We're getting to a point where now Kevin Durant is out with the calf injury. And first it was just games 1 and 2. Now, as of yesterday, Steve Kerr said that it's worse than they originally thought, and they're going to reevaluate him in another week. So he's out for games 3 and 4 too. I don't think it's possible for him to miss any NBA Finals time because we're still a long way off from that. Yeah. But if he did miss the NBA Finals, what would that change? What you think with the Warriors and Bucks? We did not talk about that last time because we assume KD is going to be there, but is that changing what you think if they get there and there's no KD and they have to play a couple games without him?
KD, out of respect, I should have said Warriors 6, but without him, I can see this going 7.
7 games, so it's a toss-up at that point.
It's not really a toss-up because the Warriors are battle-tested. They've done this before.
True. That's very true.
And, Kerr been here. It's his first time Budenholzer been in this situation. So I say 7 games, but if I was the gambling man, I put money on the Warriors to win in 7,
even without KD.
No, with KD's,
they win in 6. You said, but if they don't have KD 7. In the finals, they still win in 7, right? Right.
Warriors winning regardless.
Right. That's kind of just where we're at right now. So that brings to a conversation that people have been having because now it's been so long since we've seen the Warriors really without Kevin Durant in important times. So now people are, of course, just having the natural conversation. Are the Warriors are they better without Kevin Durant? And
how I look at it is like Warriors with KD is Thanos with the gauntlet.
Right.
We saw him with gauntlet for so long. It's like. It's no hope, but if Thanos take the gauntlet, he can still whoop your ass.
Like he's still smacking the Hulk without the gauntlet. He didn't use the Power Stone against the Hulk, so like he's still. That's a perfect analogy for all you.
So I just think we so used to seeing KD and see how it was the gap between 1 and 2 was so severe that we just we forgot about how great Curry and Clay was.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I fell victim into that because when Kevin Durant went out, first of all, I thought it was a torn Achilles against the Rockets. But when he went out, I found myself halfway expecting Houston to win that series, like almost like it was they weren't the underdogs anymore.
Yeah,
and it was because I understood the Warriors still had their lineup that went to the finals and all that. But I was looking at the bench, it's like the bench isn't as deep, and then everyone just stepped up. Kevon Looney stepped up.
Plus all the stuff Harden was talking. We got CP3 with a one anyway.
Without CP3. So. Yeah, exactly that too. With CP3, I was expecting him to pull that off, but you do kind of forget after so long of Kevin Durant being there, that if Kevin Durant left this summer and the Warriors got some pieces, like they're still the Warriors.
At this point, if he do miss this whole Western Conference, and let's say it get to a point where he missed like the first 2 games of the finals and Warriors still perform, he has to leave.
Right.
Like it's so alarming.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
KD has to leave. Let's say he missed the Western Conference finals. Then he go to the final. He missed the first 2 games, but let's say Warriors still split it.
Yeah, right.
Even though he come back or not, it's like at this point, man, you gotta slide, dog.
So you're basically saying that it's not a good look that the Warriors can do so good, because we already knew this, but now they're proving it in the playoffs that they can do everything without him. So you're saying you got to get up out of there for your legacy at this point.
Because back before this, we could argue like, well, they're gonna need KD because they only want one technically without him, and case me. But the fact is, you see how great the Warriors are without him. Hurt his case.
So with that, we can start transitioning a little bit into like off-season draft lottery, because I talk about Kevin Durant damn near every week on this podcast because that's the big thing we're all wondering. Everyone wants the NBA to be saved by him leaving. But where would you like to see him go this summer, or where would you think he would go? Because obviously, like going to LA to play with LeBron, I don't think that makes sense if you're trying to like save your image. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. But where would you like to see him go?
They always say if the Lakers and the Knicks are good, the NBA is good. So Knicks is all gonna be the number one, destination in my mind. But I can see Brooklyn.
So that's what nobody talks about, right? Nobody says anything about Brooklyn getting any free agents, but they were pretty good in the playoffs.
Yeah, plus you already got pieces there.
Yeah.
With Knicks, you got to build something from the bottom.
Right.
But I see Knicks as a front runner. I don't see other team that can sway Clippers, or I don't see Clippers really. I don't know. It's just
really. Because that's a destination the Clippers get talked about all the time.
I think Kawhi going there, not KD.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing too with Kawhi. We'll get a little bit into Kawhi and his future soon too. Like I said, transitioning, because a lot of the questions people were asking a lot about the lottery, a lot about the Knicks and all that. And I found myself thinking that the Knicks are in like the best position they've ever been in to finally capitalize on it. Because we always think someone's going to New York, right? And they never, or LA, and it never happens. But okay, right now where we're sitting, the Lakers got the 4th pick. Somehow they wound up with that 4th pick. Knicks got the 3rd, but it's still floating around out there that the Pelicans are not wanting to deal with the Lakers. If that's the case, then I'm thinking Knicks got the 3rd pick. That's where RJ Barrett, who is Zion Williamson's teammate, that's where he's predicted to go. So if they're working out a package, if the Pelicans working out a package and they just want to start over, because I don't think AD still wants to be there, even with Zion. Now that looks like AD to the Knicks. Then KD to the Knicks, Kevin Durant. That's been the whole year now. Yeah, we might end up with KD and AD on the Knicks next year. Yeah, we might end up. You think that's a nightmare?
It is, because
I like to see the world burn. So, but what do you think? Yeah, what's wrong with that to you?
Because if this in the perfect world, I do think Knicks got the best chance. I don't really believe this if Lakers don't want to deal. I think that was more Dell Demps.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, I agree.
And they got rid of him, so I'm pretty sure Griffin. That's LeBron people.
That's the first thing people said when that happened.
So he might be able to, like, we won together. What case may be, I can, you help me, I help you out. But yeah, Knicks look nice because RJ Barrett is mocked to go 3rd, and that's his homie. And you can package him up with Kevin Knox and some draft picks.
That's why I say they're in a strong position.
Because I think Pelicans at this point, their only option is to rebuild. You could try to move Holiday after that.
Right.
But Lakers can package something together. You can gut that team, get the Kyle, the Kuzma, and Ingram. I don't know how blood clots working on and whatever the case may be. But
that's
I see Knicks and I see Lakers. I think 2-man team.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Boston getting the 14th pick did not help them.
Yeah, and Boston, like, nothing helped them in this last month, fam. Like, we're gonna get into that too. Yeah. I guess we'll probably talk about that again, but nothing really helped Boston because Kyrie. Oh goodness, let me get ready to talk about the 2019 Celtics. I said I was done, but okay, the season was miserable. They didn't even get 50 wins. Like, when I look at the roster and I look at it on paper and I see that wasn't a 50-win team at least, it makes my head hurt. Got to the playoffs and faked us out, all-time fake out, like they was going to be able to handle Milwaukee. Wasn't really competitive the rest of the series. Yeah. And now Kyrie, it's all this cryptic stuff now. And his friend posting stuff about him and LeBron on the Lakers and stuff like that. Whatever the situation is, I think that's probably taking them out of the Anthony Davis sweepstakes. Because the only reason it would make sense for Boston to get Anthony Davis would be to pair him with Kyrie. You're not giving a whole bunch of assets if Kyrie's not going to be there. Yeah. But anyways, since we're on that topic, Kyrie Irving to the Lakers. What do you think about that? Because that seems to be where all the clout is right now. Like,
check this out, right?
Like, you didn't see this yesterday. Sorry to interrupt, but on Twitter there was a post going around showing Kyrie Irving on NBA 2K. Like, they have their mod players. And Kyrie Irving was supposedly in the park with LA Lakers gear on, and you could tell it was him because like they have like the NBA logo and it's actually like their player or whatever. Yeah. So that might be Kyrie trolling. He might just like Lakers gear. But what do you think about Kyrie to LA anyways? Because we didn't really talk about it.
Look at Kyrie's Robin trying to be Batman. Mm-hmm. You're not Batman. Because you forced your way out of Cleveland. What your reason was? You didn't want to be in that situation with LeBron. I don't know what. So you got your own team. Mm-hmm. You was heavy favorite before the season started. Mm-hmm. You got your whole team, everybody healthy. Mm-hmm. You couldn't perform. You don't know how to be a leader. And now you want to go back to the guy you were like, come help me. Come, let me come. I'm saying it's like when you was a kid and you pack yourself. I'm leaving the house.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
You step out in the real world a week later, you and your mom door like, Mom, can I come in? I'm sorry. This how it gonna look, man.
So you're saying Kyrie basically got sunned if he went back there, if he go to LA?
Come in. Are you hungry? That's how I get that type of vibe. Oh, man. And Cruz Broussard had a good point. Mm-hmm. The only reason to make it not look bad for Kyrie is LeBron come out and say, I need Kyrie. Like, try to make it even, like, I need you. It's not like, yo, come, I need,
And LeBron doesn't hold grudges. He went back to Cleveland. So, I don't put it past him to be recruiting Kyrie this summer.
So LeBron, humble himself. Like, I needed Kyrie to win that championship with. Like, it wasn't a one-man team. If he humble himself, make Kyrie feel like he's a number two, like a real partner, not like a sidekick, maybe it won't look bad for Kyrie image, but I ain't trying to hear all that at all.
Yeah, it all comes down to where Kyrie's heart is because, like you said, he did try to be a Batman. He left. It all happened so fast. Like, I don't know if you remember, but during the 2016 NBA Finals, I think there was like an article that came out about Kyrie talking to Kobe about avoiding a Shaq type feud with LeBron. And like it was all sweet. Like he was like, yeah, I don't want this type of situation. And a year later, there you go, you in that type of feud.
Yeah.
But anyways, obviously he was trying to mimic the Kobe route, trying to go be his own man and stuff like that. And look, my whole thing is like, there's only so many Batmans in the NBA. Yeah. Everybody ain't a Batman. It's just not for everybody. Yeah. It might not be for a point guard that doesn't play great defense and has a scorer's mentality. It just might not be.
Yeah.
I've only ever been mad at one free agency decision my whole life. That was involving my team. That was Ray Allen going to the Heat. I felt like that was a sucker move. Whatever. Yeah. That's the only one I've been mad at. I won't be mad at Kyrie for going to LA. I'm not gonna be mad. I mean, I'm older now. I'm whatever. He can go do what he wants. But it's gonna look crazy. I agree.
It's gonna look crazy, though. You're gonna like one of them, like, fam.
Yeah, that looks crazy. Like
the fact that the way he went out, I understand he was putting up numbers and he just lost to a superior team. Like, he was not performing, though.
Right. And I think I'm probably more one of the more forgiving fans because, like I said, I'm not gonna clown him for it. I'm just gonna take it as he just wasn't Batman and he realized it and he went and did what.
That's how you justify the way of thinking. He's just not a Batman.
Yeah, he tried to be Batman. He figured out it was harder. He called LeBron and apologized to him during the season, which was crazy in itself.
And the fact that his sound bites over the whole year is like it's contradiction for like if y'all have me, I'll stay. Then he had what's the commercial? We like my dad wore 11. I
with his
nobody,
dad,
something like that. Now you like he talked to me July 1st. Like, yo, man.
And I had other Celtics fans telling me I was overreacting when that quote came out during the season when he was like, talk to me July 1st.
Yeah.
And I was like, they were like, oh yeah, you're overreacting. He's just tired of the media. But I was like, fam, what he said at the beginning of the year and talk to me July 1st. Those are two different things regardless. I don't care what you tell me right now. Those are two different things. So at this moment, it doesn't look like that's any possibility for him to resign. And I
don't see no reason for him to resign. I highly doubt they get AD.
Yeah, at this point, especially now, because like you had the Knicks dangling the third pick. That
it's crazy because nobody can make a decision without knowing what's the other person.
Yeah, I know, and the time right between the draft and free agency. So like we would need to know what Kyrie's gonna do before we start talking to like AD and all that, because we're not gonna trade the whole house and then just have AD come be a rental.
Crazy, man, because like these free agents got worried about other player movement, the lottery.
Yeah.
So you really can't they can't really make a decision to everything.
Right.
The ink has been dried. So
speaking of lottery, so we can go on record with this. It was in the practice run, but basically the Pelicans they wound up with the best situation they could have possibly gotten in the Anthony Davis saga, because my whole thing was I thought, okay, somebody's gonna get the first pick and they're gonna, depending on the situation of the team, they're gonna try to swing it for AD. But no, the team with AD gets the first pick.
All the stones.
So they got everything now. They got all the stones.
All the stones.
But so because people were asking this so much, I can't really ignore it. Does that convince Anthony Davis to stay? Nah, that's not enough. Yeah, Zion's not enough.
Nah.
Yeah, because they got him Cousins. That didn't work out. I think the whole thing is understanding that with Anthony Davis in this point in his career, 7 years in, like you bring a rookie.
Because if he stay with Zion, you still need more pieces.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not going to turn him into a contender.
Zion to get more pieces.
Yeah, so and Anthony Davis is getting older. And there's no chance of the Pelicans trading Zion to please AD. That's not going to happen. So. Yeah, to me, that's still, I don't think it really changed much the way people might have thought. I know David Griffin, you want to hold on to an AD type player no matter what if you can. But yeah, with the That's All Folks shirt, you remember that? He wore the That's All Folks to the last game. I don't think Zion really changed that. Yeah, I doubt that changed.
So I do believe Zion have a great rookie season, but AD trying to win next season.
Exactly,
trying to be in a position where he can win. And I don't see AD, Zion, and Holiday getting it done.
So, since we're on the subject of Zion, because we did not talk about this in our practice run, what exactly are you expecting from him in the NBA? Because this is the most
career?
No, like probably rookie season, just following up all this hype, right? Because we've never lived for a prospect this hyped. Like even when LeBron back in 2003, okay, now we have social media and everything, so it's different. But like, Zion,
he's our generation.
Exactly.
LeBron.
Exactly. Yeah. And now you have Zion. We know he's still shooting is not his strong suit. Even in college, when he could hit it sometimes, that's not his strong suit. So if you have shooting not your strong suit in college, you come to the NBA, that's not going to magically, in one season turn into an asset, right? Yeah. So how do you see this unfolding with
his rookie season? I do expect a good rookie season. I'll probably because like we were last year, we had two rookies over 20 points.
I don't know that stat off the top of my head, but I know we had a good rookie class though.
But what I'm saying, I see 20 points, probably a block and a half, maybe a steal, something like an 8-7 rebounds.
Right.
I see him having a good rookie year. But his potential, like if he's not a mega superstar, bust. It's like it's that or you didn't live up to the hype.
And that's where I was going with this because we talked about this off camera. The thing with Zion is like by his third year, if he's not averaging like damn near 26 points, people are gonna be going crazy because like
maybe on at least a second team All NBA or something.
Yeah, just because there's just been so much hype and for even me, right? Like I never really make time for college basketball. When I was in college myself, I just didn't have time. So it kind of lined up perfectly. I graduated, then Zion started his college year, so I could get into it. But I was like an avid watcher this time with Zion, and so he drew me in that way. And it's like his expectations that he has to that he has to grapple with are crazy. It really goes to like what LeBron had to do. That's what makes LeBron's career even more amazing to me, is that he came in with kind of like these same type of expectations and he delivered that and some. So
every game gonna be dissected.
Hey, if he get 10 points in his rookie debut, like people, you can't get 10 points in your rookie debut. So
opening night, I'm pretty sure he got TNT.
Whatever. He absolutely can't. The expectations are just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't. You come out with 10 and 5 turnovers. Like, did we make a mistake?
Because they're going to be looking for those headlines. ESPN,
but the headlines, man.
Yeah, and there's not gonna be that whole grace period with rookies where you say give them time, let them adjust. Like I don't know if Zion's gonna get that.
But I do believe Pelicans do got a future because they do move 80 to Knicks, get RJ Barrett, and move Holiday. You have a good young core, for like at least 10 years.
And that should be the Pelicans' only focus right now, knowing that AD is going to be gone. It should be like, all right, we can pretty much bank on Zion probably being a franchise cornerstone. Yeah, right now, it's like turn AD into the best possible asset so that you don't end up with another AD situation where he's just there wasting his career the whole time. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I want to back up a little bit because this is actually a question a subscriber asked. And since we were talking about LeBron and how much he met his expectations, subscriber actually ended up asking about like the difference between the greatest player like of all time and the best player of all time. How do you feel about that conversation? Because some people might feel
we should have two separate lists. The best focus more on skill set and talent. Like they just super talented skill set.
Right.
And greater is a combination of talent, also accomplish impact, which you into the game. Like I know T-Mac is your favorite player. He might be on somebody's best players about like talent wise.
Yeah, up there, definitely.
Great, he never accomplished much. So I do believe greater and the best is two different lists.
So I guess
everybody different on each one of them.
So for you, is that the same thing right now? Like your greatest player and your best player? Because I know it's probably my fault.
Yeah, because I'm not a Jordan fan, but he probably number one on both lists. But I can see why people have KD ranked on the best.
Oh yeah,
over Larry Bird, but vice versa on the greatness.
Yeah, because somebody actually did. That's a specific question. Somebody ended up asking. They asked, I think, greater of all time, Larry Bird or Kevin Durant, and I actually did a video on that a while ago.
I think Larry Bird is greater, but talent-wise, no.
You go on KD with talent, even with Larry's passing skills.
Cool. I'm good, dog. That's cool.
We're not having that conversation.
Yeah, it's KD, man.
That's because Larry was a hell of a passer, fam. But you know what? Because this is a great segue. Because I said in the podcast when I was still doing a solo a while ago that I got to a point where I was kind of sick of comparing players across eras just because of this last 5 years, I would say, has affected me so much, my perspective, just to watch the NBA change from like 2014 to 2019. Like, fam, it's certain players we've kind of watched go extinct before our eyes. Like Greg Monroe, like he can't really. You know, he's bouncing around in teams now, but he started the decade with a pretty good stat line.
I pretty think Lowe made it feel how Blake Griffin, he had to change. You know, he was from power forward.
The dude was dunking on everybody. Now he's shooting threes. It's completely changed.
I think Kareem did also made it stay hard to compare. all the time for different, cause like 60 balls different 80s and vice versa.
And I used to feel like that was a cop out. Like you remember, Kareem came to Rollins. Rollins is where we graduated from. Kareem came to Rollins, and the basketball team asked him that question, and they told me like the answer he gave was basically, you can't compare eras. And I felt like it was a cop out back then. But I'm like, the more I like watch, especially when you watch tape, I don't think it's any more prevalent than when you watch tape of a game in the 80s and you watch tape of a game today. And it's like, okay, if you just transport a player from the 80s into today. For a lot of these guys, maybe it might be difficult, but okay, let me throw something your way right now though. You were just laughing about the Larry Bird and Kevin Durant thing, but what about a guy like Jokic who plays right now? Because he don't have great athleticism. His whole thing is based off of just pure skill right now. But you see, he's already climbed up on the top centers list. So if we were to take like that, make that same thing with Larry Bird and put him in today, he got the shooting skills, he's got the passing skills,
and you also got to factor in like nutrition, sports science, and the way we train. Larry Bird is also one of the players that you put him in today, he'll be fine. You know,
because some people, I don't know about I'm not slandering Bill Russell,
but like Larry Bird, his game was always ahead of his time. Same as like for the 3-point, like Reggie Miller in his prime, he was so different because he was the only one that, you know, 3-point specialist, and now it's like, man, we got Curry, we got Harden, we got Lillard that can just, you know, so this how the way we play is way different, man.
It's very much different. So yeah, that's a little bit.
But you
about
have players like Giannis where he played like he's in the 80s and 90s, but he could still be a top player today.
And it's been so crazy watching Giannis dominate too, because even a lot of this year, his 3-point shot is steadily improving.
Yeah.
But like he really still don't have it like that. Like, but the man,
the fact that you have to respect that at some level now. Like you leave him over, he can hit like.
Yeah, like I saw some stats about how he's like dominating the paint. Like I think Shaq was the last player to dominate the paint the way Giannis does right now.
That's crazy, man. They like in the 60s and stuff.
And what's scary is we just looked the other day when we were talking. He's 6 years in now, but his shot is slowly but surely coming along. It's following though. Like in the Celtics series, he shot the 3-ball pretty good. That was one of the reasons like we couldn't fully hang back on him. And if Giannis, I guess we can segue this into the best player in the NBA today. Yeah, Giannis is obviously on that list right now. When we started ranking the best players in the league today, we know if he gets a 3-point shot, he probably will be the best. But who's the best right now, considering all skill sets? Because you got Kawhi making a damn strong case when he just tore the Sixers' heart out last week, basically on the end with the solo act. Then you got KD, people throw out there. Then you got Giannis and people. I guess people were probably throwing Harden in there too. But who is the best today?
Right now, I don't know what time it is. I know it's Friday. Yeah, 111. I would say Kawhi Leonard because only thing he lacks is the passing.
Right.
You know, he'll never a passer. You know, at least decent passer. You know, he had like 2 threes, 2-3 assists a game, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But he has a more complete game. You know, it's a shooting league. So Giannis, you know how great Giannis is. He don't have like a dangerous 3-point shot.
Right.
Shit. You also got KD.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I'm waiting for your explanation with Kevin Durant. So let's go ahead. Like, yeah, I'm waiting for that one.
I forgot about KD.
It's tough, right? Because you got a freak of nature.
I think it's out of KD and Kawhi.
Yeah, that's what you think.
Because their games are more complete. You know?
Yeah, that's what I think sometimes when because I watch Giannis a lot these days, and it's like he's stepping through people basically into the paint and all that, but still though, especially with the tear Kevin Durant was on, he could just create.
It is that. Yeah, Giannis stepping through, but you can make some type of plan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the best way I could put it. Right?
You can deny him the paint.
You can try.
KD and Kawhi, you can try. But KD and Kawhi, Leonard, you got to figure something out.
Yeah.
You know?
And to me, at that point, with those 3 players, you're splitting hairs because Kawhi Leonard has the whole Michael Jordan thing going with both sides of the floor. Kevin Durant has the best scorer of all time thing going. And then you have Giannis just being a freak of nature. So at this point where you have to split hairs, I think where I split it with Giannis is just the fact that out of those 3, he's the only one I can say, okay, we're not going to guard him here and try to be successful. Right. You can't say that about Kevin Durant or Kawhi. You can't just be like, okay, when he walks up to this spot, we're gonna back off. You can't do that. You're gonna lose by 40.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So I think that's where you split hairs.
It's also with Giannis, you need a Pacific team around him, shooters.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, because when his shooters aren't hitting, like in the first half of that Toronto game, like things look crazy. Yeah,
so it's a 2-man race.
I think it's still a 3-man race. I'm not gonna get mad about if someone says Giannis, Kawhi, or KD.
Well, I'm saying you can make a better argument with KD and Kawhi.
Right. If we're splitting,
you know.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Kawhi.
Let's talk about the claw.
Let's go ahead and talk about Kawhi because, this came up in the questions from the subs, and then of course it came up about a week and a half ago, and Max Kellerman came out left field, and it was funny that it happened before the buzzer beater, so that probably only added to people who are prisoners of the moment. But Max Kellerman came with the segment that people always got to bring up Kobe out of nowhere, and that happened. So they said that he's more clutch than Kobe. That devolved into a conversation where people are actually having real debates about Kawhi being just better than Kobe.
Yeah.
And before I go out my thing, how do you feel about all that, the clutch and the better? Because just go ahead. I'm gonna throw you the floor.
With the clutch. Okay, I'm not an advanced analytics guy. I don't know. I don't look at those. I'm more of like if I saw it in real time, and I'm not. Got them guys that, but his true precision and all that stuff. But I think when you say clutch, you also got the context is the moments, the pressure. I don't think Kawhi Leonard have been in enough situations where he had that type of pressure.
Yeah.
like with the Spurs team, fam, you still had Tim Duncan, you still had Pop,
right,
Ginobili and Parker. It been points where Kobe was looking at the next person like, yo, this is Mitch Parker here.
Right, because it's slowly devolving into a thing where people are remembering the 2014 Spurs as Kawhi Leonard won them a championship because he had Finals MVP, and it's like, if that just shows you didn't watch that Finals. Like, that's not what happened there. That was one of the better teams of all time.
Yeah, he got that mostly because who he was guarding.
Yeah,
than his specific number.
So
I'll let you do yours. I'll let you get in your bag, man. Go ahead,
get in my bag. Look, I partly stan Kawhi. He's one of my favorite players to watch today. So there's no agenda here or anything like that. But I'm done speaking about Kobe Bryant on the internet. Like, people were asking me to make that video. On my second channel, I have the videos where I react to sports media takes or whatever. And of course, people would have expected me to react to Max Kellerman. And at that exact moment when I saw that whole thing, I just burnt out. Like, I'm done having Kobe discussions on the internet because I feel like, just like Max Kellerman, people are only using him. People only use Kobe these days. It's in the words of LD2K. You probably don't know who he is, but he says people just use Kobe these days to get their dumbass hot takes off, and that's exactly what I feel. Yeah. It's sports analysts that just come out of nowhere. Nothing will have anything to do with Kobe Bryant, and a player has a good night, and Kobe he didn't do this. Like, oh my, and specifically with the clutch thing, what got me. It's just like it's maddening because I'm living through Kawhi right now. I lived through Kobe. I was able to watch Kobe, and it's like I saw them both play. I know Kobe Bryant is better than Kawhi Leonard, and then you get into this clutch thing, right? Because with Kobe Bryant now, there's this mad like stat-driven argument that he wasn't clutch. And that's the craziest shit in the world because it's like I watched Kobe play, and through that, through the 10 years or whatever, nobody ever said when he was playing, especially on his prime, if you're on the opposite team, nobody was like, I want Kobe to take the last shot. That never happened. I'm a Celtics fan. Right. I was not sitting in the 2010 finals hoping on that night in Game 7 when Kobe was playing like trash, I was not sitting there hoping Kobe took the last shot still. That's not the way it was. Yeah. So that tells me that I watched something where stats will probably back me up. And I finally found it, actually. I finally found it. I didn't, because I was not, like I said, I'm just sick of discussing Kobe on the internet, so I'm not trying to do this deep dive. But y'all search up MJ2K all day. Y'all search up him, and it's one of his recent videos. And he pulled all the receipts. He pulled all kinds of, for all y'all stats people who love the advanced stats and the breakdown of like everything where you don't even know what the stats mean, but you like it anyways. MJ2K did that for Kobe, and he showed like all the moments that he was clutch throughout his career, and it was an unbiased video too because he showed parts where he failed, like the 04 finals. I'm retiring. I'm hanging my I'm a Celtics fan. What am I doing defending Kobe anyways all the time? But I'm retiring from this. I'm not talking Kobe on the internet anymore. Anytime somebody wants to, I'm just direct them to that video by MJ2K. And just because like the whole thing with like, do you understand that the Kobe not being clutch, the whole movement these days where people try to bring that up, like Kobe's not clutch with the stats, like,
well, you got individuals like Nick Wright, they'll pull up side by side him, Jordan, LeBron, such,
and cherry pick stats, right?
Yeah,
cherry pick certain things.
That's all they do, and he's 5 for 22, or he's 2 for whatever. So now I understand why people. Because people don't do no research, like they lean to professionals, air quotes, to
right.
feed them that knowledge. But nah, I'm a Laker guy, Kobe guy. I always thought he was clutch, and
the work that MJ2K did shows that you're not crazy. We actually did watch these events with our own eyes. We watched Kobe be one of the things that MJ laid out was through 10 years in the NBA. The GMs of the NBA, right? Dudes that are building teams to compete against this guy said that they wanted the ball in Kobe's hands at the end of a game for 10 years straight. Right. So that's the kind of stuff that where we are now heading into the 2020s, and I hear all this out of pocket stuff about Kobe.
And GMs, that's their job.
That's their job.
Players.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, so I know I'm not crazy. I know I watched this era. So you can't tell me no stupid shit no more about Kobe wasn't this or that. Fam, I watched it and I'm done debating it. Yeah. Go watch MJ2K. I'm finished with it. I'm finished with that whole shit. Yeah. But anyways, that stemmed off of a Kawhi debate. Not even debate, Kawhi conversation we were just having. I guess we can go back to one of the questions somebody asked in the last podcast. They were asking who you would rather. Well, I mean, yeah, you already said Kawhi was better. Over him or Giannis, you had already said.
Yeah, it's only reason I say it's the 3-ball.
Okay, well, okay. Let me ask you then, because since we just had that conversation, this is always an interesting that comes up. This is an interesting one that comes up. Kawhi or Curry?
Oh, Curry.
Curry.
I don't care, Curry.
Why?
I'm just saying when Curry, because even though Kawhi can he's a shooter, it is that Curry demands a lot when he comes across half court,
right?
And plus off ball, what Curry do, what people don't realize, when he don't have the ball, he always move, he always trying to make plays.
Always,
you all gotta know where he is on the court.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure Kawhi Leonard do have, he can move off the ball, but Curry just magnifies it.
And since you brought that up, this is the perfect time to talk about that, because we're in a time where sometimes the Toronto Raptors offense looks so Kawhi-centric. Like, it seems like if he's not creating, then nothing's going on.
Right.
Now, the thing I noticed with that is, see, you never hit a point like that, even before Golden State had Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. You never hit a point like that once Steve Kerr took over with Curry, because the offense is really designed around Curry, and if he's so like with the Raptors, you'll have Kawhi going ISO, and if nothing's working, then the Raptors aren't working. With Curry, if he's not scoring, he's still running around the court, commanding all this attention all the time, and their offense is never stuck in the mud, really, because of that.
He's one of them players. He can go 0 for 30. He's still out there trying to guard.
Oh yeah,
he's still trying to guard.
If Curry has missed 29 straight shots and the game is on the line, and Curry's at half court, you coming out to half court. Hey, man. You are coming out to half court.
Yeah, I just Curry do a lot that's not that's not a stat,
Yeah.
And Kawhi's never considered a passer type,
I think that's what he can really work on, honestly.
Yeah, he has to work on that.
Because there's been times in this playoffs where I see a double team coming towards Kawhi, and he kind of like just turns his back to it, and he won't get rid of the ball really in time, and to eat seconds off the clock. I think that's something that he can definitely improve in his game.
It's not many players that I will pick over Curry.
Yeah, it's really not.
It's really hard to pick someone up.
It's really not, because people, especially when Curry's having a bad night, that's when everyone chooses to, say this. See, I told you Curry wasn't this or that. But to be honest, it's really not a lot of people.
I just love his ball. Like, this man move. He constantly going around screaming
all the time.
Man, you got to find this guy.
So since we're talking about Curry, this just popped up in my mind, because this is, we were just talking about the best and greatest and all that. In 2016, was Steph Curry the best player in the NBA to you? The best player? Year that he was unanimous MVP? Because there was talk LeBron should have got the MVP. People always say that. People always say that.
There was no argument at all that year. I don't care. You couldn't make a case for no one.
Yeah, against Curry in 2016. You really couldn't. I'm sorry. You couldn't.
No.
People will combat that and say that, but what happened in the finals? It's like, bro, Curry.
They count 82 games. They don't count what you did.
And not even that. Curry was not healthy for that either. That's the thing that happens there. But
every game was must-see TV that year.
2016 is another year for Curry. That's going to be a year just like I've had with Kobe.
I give him that. I say Curry was
best player.
To be the best in the game,
mm-hmm.
It can't be a year by year thing, right?
What do you mean?
Best player in the game can't be switching every year.
Well, I mean, it generally doesn't, because whoever's the best normally holds a grip on that, for at least more than 1 year.
I'll say Curry was the best player for that 60, but the way the finals went, the block,
mm-hmm.
and the 3-1 back, that is LeBron that's got it right back. That's the only time in history we saw somebody like snatch it right back.
Yeah, he took that shit back.
Give me that shit.
Quickly.
But usually, if they're the one, I think Curry, it would have been Curry era,
mm-hmm.
like of being the best. But the way the finals went, the way LeBron, man, I ain't ready to get that up.
So, speaking of that,
I think people just switch the best player every year. Like, it should be best player, like LeBron been there for almost 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he
can't be switching best player of the game every year.
Well, we don't generally. LeBron, from my understanding, has been the best since like 2011, basically. And then we get to now where, of course, it's changing.
The best players, only because LeBron's not in the playoffs. But next season we're gonna have that conversation again, right?
So you think LeBron still has a chance to insert himself and be the best player in the NBA still? Yeah.
Yeah, because even though with this debacle of a season, he still had good stat line.
Mm-hmm.
And that's without the right help he needed. So next season we'll revisit this conversation. Who's the best in the league?
Since we're having this conversation, stuff just keeps on coming up to me. What year did LeBron become the best player in the NBA? Because that's the other movement, right? Since Kobe was a part of this, there's a movement out there that Kobe was never the best player in the NBA. You heard that?
I hear that.
Anyways, with that, what year did LeBron James become the best player in the NBA? What was his reign from win to win?
I'll say 2000 and...
Yeah, you on the spot?
2000 and... 10.
2010.
10. 11 is when he went to Miami.
Miami, yeah.
I'll say the year before that, so 10. Even though Lakers was hanging up a banner that time, but
yeah.
I'll still say 10.
See, I think around that time is fair. Look, we can split hairs and talk about.
Some people say 07.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's a real thing out there. People will say that, and to me, that happens when people go off of the stats and go off of the highlights, but they weren't around back then. That's the thing. When you go around, LeBron was not the.
Well, in this same argument. Mm-hmm. If you go back in time, because when you go back in time, it's an atmosphere. People say different things.
Yeah,
and they could be wrong. I'm a Kobe guy, diehard, I'm Mamba Clan. Mm-hmm. But you can. Nobody said Tim Duncan was better than Kobe Bryant, but he had 2 MVPs,
and that's what gets me. I'm glad you went there. Go ahead. Just keep saying.
I never heard anybody. Listen, I'm older, so I'm in that era. Like I saw these. Nobody, no reporter, no GM, no. Said, yo, Tim Duncan's better than Kobe Bryant.
And that's what gets me, because the years that they try to say, when they're trying to take it away from Kobe and say he was never the best player in the NBA, they refill those years with Tim Duncan.
Right.
And I'm just like, bro, that's another thing that just irks me. It's like, I was around back then when nobody's saying Duncan. That was not the conversation. It was not Duncan or Kobe. Right. It was not. It really wasn't.
Duncan probably had better seasons. Mm-hmm. I think that's why you get MVP.
Yeah, like something like 03, he was probably the best. You could make his argument for him being the best player in the league. Yeah.
But I just never heard anyone say that, man. I never heard an article. I'm pretty sure you can find some back San Antonio art.
In the early 2000s, sure.
I just never heard, like, yo, fam, Tim Duncan's better than Kobe.
But people
Bryant.
are just completely underrate how much Kobe used to, like, beat the shit out of the Spurs. Yeah. Like, that happened in the early 2000s when it was him and Shaq. Kobe was leading a lot of them series in points per game. Yeah. Everything you see had Kobe written on it. When Shaq left, the Spurs were the defending champions in 2007. Kobe Bryant came back that year with Pau Gasol, and they beat them in like 5 games. That was the defending champions Spurs. So I never get this whole thing where like Kobe was just inferior to the Spurs. Like he did it a lot, and they especially when they bring up LeBron's resume against the Spurs. It was like Kobe had his time against the Spurs too. He was kicking ass around them times too. Yeah, so
and he played them more, so it's just different,
right? Because they were in the Western Conference.
But I would say 2010. I think that's when LeBron, like, it's his era, it's his turn.
I think you could debate around that time too. I think so too.
But by 11, I don't think it was no debate at 2011. Yeah. But 2010, I'll give him a year before, because you can't just hop in that.
Because things kind of went downhill after the Lakers won that championship with the Celtics, and then you get to like the lockout year, and things kind of went downhill kind of fast.
Yeah, well, some people have his reign going too long, but 2010 is a fair start LeBron era.
Right. So since we're on the subject, anyways, because you said you were a Lakers guy and then Kobe guy, how was it for you though? Like, Kobe's been gone for some time now, but then you gotta assimilate to like have LeBron. How did that work? Because like, if LeBron came to the Celtics, like,
it's like when a Blood and Crips find out a unity in a gathering. It's you really because you got a Lakers fan, you got Kobe fan. Mm-hmm. But it's hard to separate you because most Kobe fans are a Lakers fan. But if it's not Kobe doing it, like, fan.
Right.
So it's very hard, I ain't gonna lie, because as soon as Lakers win, you have the Kobe stands. I mean, LeBron stands. Well, look what he did. Kobe didn't do this when he. It's like this weird things. But I had to put this aside because I'm a Laker guy. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna front. It's a lot of games I ain't watched because Kobe's not here. I don't. But I had to really, dig deep and like, yo, I'm a Laker fan. Mm-hmm. Kobe retired. He's cemented. I can't even dwell on this. But it was very hard. When they said he'll come, I'm like,
yeah, I know a lot of LA fans felt like that.
Then they saw who's the better Laker. Like, then they
the next day before the season started,
relax.
So with that, with your Lakers, y'all have the 4th pick now. What do you want to see happen? Because the awkward position y'all are in is y'all have LeBron James for 2 more years. Right. But LeBron is not here to play with young guys and help y'all build. Like, that doesn't make sense to have LeBron here if that's all y'all trying to do.
But probably two prime really good years from LeBron before he started taking a step back. Not a drastic step back, but like that.
Yeah, what's up with his 4th pick?
I don't know. Cause I think it's some Corver kid. I'm not following college. Mm-hmm. Cam Reddish, some kid probably go to 4th. If New Orleans really hell bent of not doing business, I don't know what we're gonna do with that pick. So we got to move that pick to get some type of some type of star player. But if Kyrie really, if how I think how it's playing, if LeBron really come out like I really need Kyrie Irving, I couldn't do it without him. Maybe he'd be less embarrassed to come back. But I don't know if AD we can't deal for AD. I don't know what you do with that pick.
Right.
You know, I really don't. I really think Knicks got the better position to get AD.
Yeah. At the moment,
I don't know. But the thing also Boston should be grateful is that the fact that we got so many good players that come late.
What do you mean?
In the draft, like
yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm not really tripping.
You can't do that with superstars, but you still have a building piece. You know.
Yeah, I'm not really tripping on that. I've seen great players drafted later. Like
Giannis was 13, wasn't he?
Yeah, and people just didn't want to wait on the honest. They knew what it was, but they didn't want to wait on that.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna know the pick because we do need. Now, I don't know how Brandon Ingram blood clock thing.
Yeah, that's something nobody's been talking about. Like, if he's gonna be part of a trade package deal,
blood clocks are nasty to do.
Yeah, he was a big part of that deal. Yeah, he was a very big part of that deal.
How it's looking, they're gonna try to package the fourth. If Pelicans deal, it's the fourth pick. I mean the Laker pick plus Kyle, all the K's.
Right.
And Ingram to get AD. But I really don't know. That Pelicans getting the first pick threw it all.
Yeah, that threw everything. That threw a wrench in everybody playing.
Threw everything off, man.
All right, so I just looked after a quick break. We're at 47 minutes now. Like, this is just way easier to do with a co-host because this is just far easier to do with a co-host. When I do it by myself, it's normally like, it takes a while to get to 30 minutes. So we're gonna wrap it up with one more thing, and I'm taking a question straight from Instagram. And it was basically talking about, like, where do the Houston Rockets go from here? The Houston Rockets have now lost to the Golden State Warriors, like, 4 times. They had a perfect chance to do it, perfect chance to do everything they needed to do with Kevin Durant out, could not capitalize. And it's like, okay, on one hand, like, you don't start using words like blow up yet, do you? Because,
like, first it's possible. With the money,
with Chris Paul's contract.
And Harden.
Yeah.
I got a question before I answer that. Do you believe that we being somewhat kind of unfair because we didn't realize we forgot how good Curry and Clay was?
So you're saying, are we being unfair to the Houston Rockets?
Yeah, because we people don't realize we forgot how good Clay and Curry was.
Oh, there's a couple of things there. First of all, what doesn't help that narrative is that we spent the whole year talking about what if Chris Paul played the last 2 games of last year. No, but I get it. The roster's a bit different. Chris Paul's a year older, clearly a little bit different right now. But my whole thing is like, okay, Golden State is a different team too. They had lost a lot of their depth. Cousins went out. They didn't have Damian Jones either, which I forgot about him. He just made his return in the conference finals. That was another backup center who I had completely forgot about. He wasn't there.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, exactly. See, I forgot all about him until he returned. I didn't think about him one time. Curry had the dislocated finger and was shooting like trash basically the whole time Kevin Durant was in. And for that, you know what really gets me? For that like 5 minutes when Kevin Durant, after he had that injury, everybody on the planet thought it was a torn Achilles. Golden State thought it was a torn Achilles. Now imagine being out there and having to keep your composure, thinking that your championship run is probably over because Golden Boy just altered his career with an injury.
Yeah,
they was still able to keep that composure, still able to get it done. And to me, I saw, and that was in a game where Houston had came back by like 20 points at that moment when Kevin Durant tore his Achilles. So that was a perfect chance to pounce, take it back to Houston, up 3-2, and go from there. So with all that, no, I don't think you're being too hard. Golden State's still a great team, but this time they actually had some adversity to overcome, and they did it. Last year, Houston's adversity was not having Chris Paul.
Well, I'm not capable for him, but I can. Yeah, I understand why someone can make case will fail. And the people all said, without KD, they better play better.
Yeah, they're more fun to watch. That's what Martin said. They're more fun to watch. They're not better though.
Yeah,
no team in history.
I don't know what they can do. I don't know how they look. I don't know how their money look. But But CP getting 30, 35.
Boy, he cracked the bank.
Locked up. What's this shit? Capella locked up. So there's not much movement you could do.
Yeah, and I don't sense that they would want to anyways. Just because like everything depends on what happens.
Prime. You don't want to blow up now.
And that depends on what happens with the Warriors this summer. If they disband, like, you have a better chance. If Kevin Durant leaves, regardless, you have a better chance, You don't want to have changed you don't want to have changed your whole roster. Like,
I don't think they're gonna feel like they're not gonna feel that way.
Oh no, they're not gonna feel like the West is ours. No,
they gonna feel like they had a better chance than the fact that we just seen you. Fuck that up.
A better chance. Because if Kevin Durant had been not there the whole series, I think that would have been a little bit closer. Yeah, right. But I think the only way you feel like the West is actually yours is if Klay Thompson and KD leave, and I don't know the chances of that happening. I don't think Klay's leaving at all.
No, Klay's the lifer.
Yeah, I think KD is the only one that's has a real chance of leaving. And then so like you said earlier, just so much depends on what the other guy does. So much depends on what Golden State actually does this summer and what happens with him.
Yeah, it's crazy. Everything is all connected.
Yeah,
you can't make a move until you know what other person doing. Because
it's kind of like how some people theorize that if LeBron hadn't left the East, then these teams wouldn't have went all in the way they did. I think that's a bit of a different scenario.
I do believe if doesn't matter if he leave or not, I think Kawhi still get dealt.
Yeah, Kawhi. I think that happens too. Yeah,
that's regardless happening.
And I never really fully agreed with that narrative that the East went for it as LeBron left, because those teams that kind of progressed to that point.
Right, and plus Giannis was coming already. So
the Cavaliers were not in a good spot financially or talent wise. So like, who are they going to scare next year? Really, if everyone is healthy and traded for all these parts?
Yeah, I heard that same old. Now y'all want to get good with LeBron.
Like, no, it was tracking that way. The Sixers had developed. The Celtics had what they had. Like, it was tracking that way. And then, like, I don't know. But, I think that's a bit different scenario than the Warriors. A KD leave, it's not wide open. It's like, okay, we have a chance now, but the Warriors are probably still the best depending on who they sign.
It's now, I don't know what the Rockets can do, man. They money tied up.
Somebody asked if Harden is this year. It was a subscriber. If Harden is this era's Allen Iverson, what do you think of that statement?
Think the subscriber trying to say, like,
I think
not winning.
I guess in terms of being a great player, but like not, like ever like making it that far or winning. Winning.
Y'all comparing Westbrook to Allen Iverson.
In terms of being great every season, right? And then not being able to capitalize at the end. Yeah, efficiency. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't fully get that question either. I just wondered if you made something of it.
I don't know, because during I need some context. Like, what you mean, like, winning or not? Because a lot of players that was great that wasn't winning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that was what Chris Broussard
Allen Iverson was, by himself. He the only, Adam Harden got a team now, man.
Yeah, that too.
I need some context behind the question.
Right. I think more in terms of that, if we're looking for historic comparisons, the Houston Rockets are now in the position of like the mid 2000 Suns or even the early 2000 Kings. Yeah, where they just like were always right there on the cusp, but never actually got it. That might be. Anyways, we're probably close to an hour now. I think depending on who says what about this, it'll probably be like the average time of the show, just because it's it's hard to fit everything into 30 minutes with two people. It's fun having this conversation. So you can go ahead and give your outro if you have anything to say to the people.
Yeah, you can find me on all social media outlets. Snapchat is CILENCIER. That's my last name, Silencia. I'm French. Holla at me. Snap, Instagram, same thing. Last name IG, and Twitter is my last name, Tweets. And free pub. Go check out my boy Irving. He's a hip hop artist from Orlando. Go check his music out on Spotify, Instagram, iTunes, all that. It's ERVN Music. Yo.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, I'll have all those links probably on the screen and in the description. It's a good idea to follow him too, because probably some of the questionnaires will come out on his social media as well, and you can ask him questions and me questions. That's probably how we'll roll from here. So definitely let me know what you thought about the co-host idea. Hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed. Make sure remember that this always comes out on Spotify and iTunes like a day later as well. So those links will be down there where you can find everything else. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next weekend.